So you're listening to Mark Turcotte and Diane Nito from Real Estate News and Views, and we're gonna talk about some fake news, Mark.
I think it's fake. We're going to go through some things, or maybe it's just not telling the full concept of what's really going on in the market because we're not seeing that, and those numbers just don't seem to jive. So we'll let the viewers make that call, but just like we're going to make that call that we just don't feel like it's not accurate information. It's not the
Well,
truth.
yeah, so I saw the article and I sent it to you last night because you and I have been doing some stat videos and we look at the numbers every day and stuff and I see this Barrie Today article
Yep.
that's saying that March is like busters, and I'm going to share the article. But I couldn't figure out like where on earth.
Yeah. Well, we're not seeing Barrie down 20%, 28%. We're not seeing Innisfil down 45% sales year over year. So it's far from gangbusters in two bigger communities in Simcoe County.
Yeah. And I don't understand. And I've looked up a couple things just so you know, because I don't see it even in the Simcoe County numbers, which we can show.
Yeah, let's go through it.
So they're saying that the average Simcoe County home sale price drops 8.4. Okay.
Let's explain that. So that average price point, that's the average. So we're not set. It's kind of misleading where a viewer would look at this going, "Oh my God, prices have dropped 8.4%." Right? Really, that's how some viewers would take that.
For sure.
Right? When we talk about sales have dropped, we're seeing more, maybe in the whole Simcoe County, but in other parts of this community, we're seeing, a lot higher than that. And we're seeing the average price point come down too, but that all depends on what inventory sells that given month. So I wanted
Yeah.
to be
So one month you could have a bunch of lower, price listing
correct.
sale,
Correct.
or we've some months where like a $4 or $5 million one sold and it raised everything, right?
It's not a really good depiction of the value of a certain
Right.
property.
So the headline right after that, this is what like I was blown away by. Local Real Estate Association has released its latest data for March 2025, highlighting healthy and dynamic market.
Is it healthy for a sense that there's a lot of inventory and there's some more, it's more balanced than it ever has been in the last couple of years, and maybe, you know, um, are buyers coming back because it's more balanced? We're not seeing that because we're not seeing it in the sales,
Okay,
right?
but Mark,
I'm
like,
concerned.
are you ready for this? This is like I'm flabbergasted. The Barrie and District Association of Realtors has released its latest market data for March 2025, highlighting steady growth in sales and price stability as Simcoe County's housing market continues to adapt to evolving conditions. With significant increases in new listings and active inventory, the spring market is off to a strong and competitive start. Now, okay, we are getting a lot more listings, but this is what's freaking me out. Simcoe County recorded 492 home sales in March, a 6.96% increase from the 460 in March of 2024. Month over month, sales activity surged by 61.84%, reflecting a seasonal rebound in buyer activity.
No, we're not seeing that. And so maybe, you know what? Why don't you show the viewers, Diane, what we just did in Barrie in Innisfil and show them the numbers
Well,
before we
no, what I want to do, Mark, is I can show them the Simcoe County
okay.
sales, right?
All right.
So in 2024,
Can you blow that up at all? Make it
I don't know. I can try to go right from Matrix.
do that and I'll do that because it's they're not gonna be able to see the numbers. So I can't even see them. I got glasses on. Um,
Yeah.
Anybody wants any information on the Barrie real estate market in Simcoe County, leave us a comment, subscribe to our channels, and we'll definitely get back to you on some stuff. And we have some two links or a couple links actually in our descriptions if someone's looking for home evaluation or wants a custom search based on their criteria. Love to help you out.
Okay, so March of 2025.
Okay.
Okay. So this March, you should write this down. because this is what's blowing me away. Simcoe County, March of 2025, 492 sales. Okay, so write that down. 492 sales, March 2025. Okay,
Okay.
so now we're going to go look at March of 2024, right?
Okay.
And we'll pick Simcoe County and, oh, hold on. We need March, right?
Yep.
Of 2024. I already have done this little thing here. And like I don't understand. So March of 2024, all of Simcoe County, 657.
Hmm. Wow. That's kind of odd, eh?
So what was the other number that I gave you?
492, I thought. Correct?
Well, I told you to write it down.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Yours, sir. Write this down. It's really important. 492. I'm almost certain it's 492.
Okay, so 657
Uh,
subtract 492.
Let's double check that to make sure because we're basing this video on that. So let's just go
Okay,
backwards.
so you got 657 now,
I'll write
right?
that down. Yep. Okay.
Like I do not understand it. So now we're in March 2025. Can you hear this dog?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm used to it.
Well, there you go, Mark. 492.
Okay.
So do the numbers there quick.
24% difference. So a little bit different than what's kind of in that article. That article seems to be a little bit misleading um, to the viewers. I really believe that it is misleading in saying that the market's healthy and the market's, doing good. Is it healthy from an inventory standpoint? Because there's lots of inventory. Is it healthy that we're getting less sales than last year? No. So it's really, to me, it's a very, you know, to me, that's probably a paid article, to be honest.
Well, the thing is that I don't understand. 460 sales in March 2024.
Right. And we just got 657. Big
And
difference.
and just so people know,
That's
this
down
is like
24%. It's not up 6.96%.
it's down by
Right.
what did you say it was
24,
down by?
24%.
Yeah.
Because we're
So
not the 675 right from the Chubb Real Estate Board.
this is the Toronto Real Estate Board. We're now Barrie is a member and that we all have to report all our information on this, right?
Right.
So like to me, I don't know where these numbers are even coming from at all.
Don't know. Don't know. Didn't
No.
know.
So then they said the average sale price reached 807
Mhm.
and that it was an 8.4% decrease compared to March 2024. So if we go over to our the average price did go down,
Yes.
but we talked about the average sale price, right? They also said that the new listings went to 2022, making an 84% increase year over year.
That's a lot. It's a lot of
Okay,
listing.
so do we want to check that validity out?
If you can, yeah,
I can.
let's see it.
So Simcoe County active listings. Okay, write this down this time.
Okay. Oh,
2,098 actives, March 2025
okay.
in all of Simcoe County.
Okay. Mhm.
So now we're going to go to 2024, right? So you guys, this is like the Toronto Real Estate Board. It gives you all the stats, the reports, and they combined, everything that would be on a Barrie board or a board outside. Like there is, what's the one in Orillia, the Lakelands board? There's different boards.
Correct.
And this one would be the most efficient as far as up to date and everything's kind of there.
Yes.
Active listings. 1,579 last year.
Okay.
So what's the percentage of the difference?
Well, let me just see. 25%.
And they're saying 63.52%.
Yep. No, it's not right. We got the numbers right from there, right? So
Yeah.
it's, you know what, it's just really so important for people to, the numbers mean something today, right? This is the market that we're in. We're number driven. We're not in a market where COVID, where the numbers didn't mean anything because there was so much demand, right?
Well,
We've
what worries me is
buys
this.
all the time. Now the numbers actually mean something, and I really believe that people should really, really spend some time looking at them. They're important because
Well,
you're making decisions on these.
and that you're
You
getting the correct ones, Mark, because
these
this
aren't.
is so the Robin Jones, who's the BDR chair, Barrie District and Realtor Association is the name, right? That's what BDR stands for. Or Barrie District Association of Realtors, whatever. The chair, Robin Jones. March's numbers reflect a healthy and dynamic market. We're seeing strong buyer interest supported by a surge in new listings, which is helping to balance conditions. Realtors are key to helping clients make informed decisions in this fast moving environment.
It's not a fast-moving environment whatsoever.
Ugh.
It's a very, this is an environment right now that we don't, it could go both ways. We could see the feds maybe going, hey, we need to speed up the economy. We're losing job, we're losing growth, spending's cut down, you name it. It can and be more aggressive on loosening the rates. Will it spark some more demand? Maybe, but I'm really concerned about if these tariffs stay into play, how many people are going to be affected by it. And we know the numbers of the manufacturing. We say it every video now because I think it's something important to say. When we have 100,000 auto workers in this province, 144,000 that are directly tied to it. That's a lot of jobs.
Well, you know what else is pretty worrisome, Mark, is with this crazy bond yield thing and the Trump and everything up and down, up and down, up and down. We only saw 2 or 3 days of the fixed rate actually go down a bit, and now it's back on the rise. So the fixed mortgage rates and the variables, like they're still high.
Yeah, the variables not impacted by that, but the fixed rates are. And last 2 days, we've seen them marginally lower. So people are buying the government debt bonds, but when we see them green, people are selling them. It's the opposite. So, and we've seen them really spike hard last week, like huge. So that's not a good sign, right? And then because of those, now they're going back up. So they don't, I really believe the markets don't know what to do right now on that side. And I'm really believing that this is spilling over to the real estate side too. Sentiment is bad. Do we wait? Do we wait to make a move? Are we worried about our job losses? What are we going to get for a home? What do we need for a home? What's the Fed going to do? Are we going to go fixed? Are we going to go variable? There's so many decisions. I think the consumer is potentially overwhelmed with information right now. Too many things can happen. I
Well,
really
yeah. And it's like the uncertainty. Nobody has a crystal ball. And the uncertainty, regardless of anything, is going more towards the negative. You know what I mean? It's not that the uncertainty isn't like, oh, there's going to be a big boom and prices are going to go high. Like
it's
the
not.
uns
It's not. We're seeing the opposite in the sense of the comments. And some of the comments are, oh, they're gonna come at 50%. No, they're not. They're not. Do I believe that, the properties are mispriced by a lot? Yeah. But when you look at the percentage, it's 10 to 12%. The number's small, but the dollar amount is high,
yes.
right? And then we've seen this over and over again when we pull history up on listings and going, they've been listed since, July and they finally sold. And They were started at 779 and they got 679, we're going to say. It's 100 grand. It's close to 12, 13%, right? So the mispricing, that needs to change in this market if someone's selling because inventory is getting ballooned up. Anybody in any kind of market then is going to think, well, there's more supply. That's, hey, the prices are going to come down. Should, but we're not seeing that.
We haven't seen that in 2 years.
Haven't
Like
seen
the inventory levels, and I can show we've like our inventory levels have been high throughout the last couple years, like higher than normal
And I believe we're going to have 1,100 listings by June in this Barrie market here.
in Barrie in the city.
Right. But just because of the way the inventory trends are going now.
In the city of Barrie, like the inventory, if you look over, the last 7, 8 years, like look at 771, 510, and like these are crazy numbers compared to what we normally have.
Yeah, they are. And we're coming up to building inventory for a spring market. Spring market's going to be pretty soft. I hate to say it. And if someone's thinking about listing your home, you'd better have the facts. I'm telling you right now, you better be looking at numbers. You better be looking at how it shows on solds. And do not go try a price point because your neighbors tried it.
No,
Because
well, and
market for over
another thing I wanted to show, Mark, is that in 2023, we started to see this rise in inventory,
massive.
right? 559, 651, 674. Like
Yeah.
if you look back, when did we ever have over 600? A couple times. Look at,
In the May, June, July area, we typically inventory building up, right?
yeah. But last year, we saw it start in 2023. And look at the actives in 2024, 416 in January. You never saw that. Nowhere close ever. And then we got into the 827, 772, like 788 last year. Like last year, we already saw this problem starting and ballooning.
We did. We did. And it started back in 2023, the big increases.
Yeah,
Saw because the peak kind of ended in March. So March, April, the numbers started, and then we started to see some inventory going up a lot
a
compared to
lot.
2021. We look back at these COVID years, like some of them, almost doubled, right? And then with the Fed going on their campaign of raising rates due to fight the inflation bug, we've seen it. And
Yeah.
it's not everybody that's in trouble. And that's what we're probably going to see some comments. Well, that's why the listings grossly increased because everybody's in trouble. No, that's just not the case. There's
They were in
multiple
trouble. They'd lower their prices and sell their
right.
houses, and they're
So,
not.
they missed the market to sell at that higher peak price. They thought there's still the demand for it, and it's not there. And it wasn't there last year, and it's not going to be there this year.
Well, and look at in December of 2023, 424. Okay. Look across to all the Decembers, Mark.
Yeah. Look how
Nowhere
small.
close.
No, no.
So, like this ballooning and this problem started then. And we're just on the same downward spiral of it. That's why when I see an article like this, I
Please.
don't even understand. I don't understand where it's coming from.
It's wrong, right? We got the numbers. We just showed the viewers where the numbers come from, and it just seems like they were sugarcoated that everything's okay. I'm not saying everything is bad, but I am saying that things are not um like they were last year. We're in different times. I really believe we're in different times, right?
Well, and I was talking to one of my clients last night, and I was telling you about it, and I mean, part of the issue here is, she's like, I don't know if the average person right now who is not selling a home or buying realizes how bad it is. Like, she was asking me, well, was November better than now? And I mean, you and I have been saying it for almost a whole year. Like it hasn't been good for like a year.
It's over here. It's been 2 years since the market's been really after COVID came. March break was done, 2022. Things started to go down. Then the Fed started ramping up rates, right? People started getting increasing mortgage payments amounts. It was all cheap money. Now it's ballooned up a bit more. People were struggling with some hard times paying for those. Some lost their homes, some couldn't close. We're still seeing some stuff. I had an apartment this week where the poor gentleman couldn't, may have to not close on his new condo because he can't qualify anymore. And there's massive deposits. And that's part of speculating buying. We all speculate it's going to go up. Guess what? We're never prepared for it to go down, or do we have a plan B?
Yes.
See, so you got to keep that in mind. I've bought new homes before, and sometimes, oh God, why did I make this mistake? Luckily, it worked out over time, but that's a market. We can't create a market for something that's not there or there's no demand for. And I really feel a lot of people are still trying to create a market for overpricing properties, 10 to 12, maybe 15%. Some. We've seen it 10 million times.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. I think when you buying pre-construction,
There's risk involved.
is 2 or 3 years out, and you don't know what the market's going to be in 2 or 3 years. And I had the same. Remember the semi-detached off Mapleview that I went to view, and he needs over $1 million for it, and it's a semi-detached. It's brand new. I mean, it's beautiful inside. It's 1,700 square feet, but I can't get him $1 million.
No, so why bother trying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did qualify. He ended up qualifying, but just he had to have two jobs.
no, it's tough. Right.
Because when you originally get it, so you can't really get mortgage approval. It's only good for 90 to 120 days usually. So when you buy a brand new, like a pre-construction, whether it be a home or a condo, you are really not approved for the money, are you?
At that given time, right today, you're approved. 3 years down the road, what changed? Rates went up. What will change with that buyer? Did they take on new debt, new credit card debt, whatever, lines of credit,
Buy a car?
or whatever? Give me multiple things. Can't qualify anymore, right? That's scary. Like I really do believe that we're going to see some price decreases because I think it's coming. But then I'm also concerned about how these tariffs are going to impact the inflation figures now. Or what are the Feds going to be stuck to going? What do we chase here? Inflation going up, or do we cut rates to create some spending, make it easier? I don't know. We don't know.
Well, no, because they're kind of at a catch 22. They're
Right.
like they're working against each other no matter what they do.
Right now they are. It's going to be tough. So, I personally don't think that this 2025 year is going to be anything, but dismal. And at best, the numbers will be off possibly double digits. That's just my gut the way it is now. Things can change, but we're seeing the inventory, we're seeing the sales in high double digits now, if not over last year, year over year. So, how's that going to lead into a spring market? How's it going to lead in, next is the fall market. Summer's pretty quiet. I don't know, right? How many job losses are we going to incur in this province?
I
Are
know, I don't know.
very impacted by Honda. Like I think I saw an article today. I should have read it. It talked about Honda, shifting some production and stuff like that, right? So there's so many factors involved. That's a big employer for Simcoe County.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
And I
So
think I think if you're looking to sell or do anything, I mean, you got to make sure you talk. Unless you have a realtor that you know and that you've dealt with for years and you trust them, you got to make sure you're getting the right information because it looks to me, even for you and I who do this all the time, I'm seeing like crazy articles and fake news that if I went by that, I would be pricing it way too high.
I just don't think I really don't think that a lot of realtors put in the time to have the numbers and really being transparent. I really don't. I don't. They're all given them, but they're
Or
not.
or do you not want to be too negative and then nobody will sell their houses? Like I don't know what it is,
How do
but
you just be upfront? Just tell me what's going on in the market. People aren't stupid. Don't treat them stupid. They know that the market isn't good right now. So
yeah.
where does the price point come? The property that I went to show some clients, and I'm going to say the address, 41 McAvoy, where we looked at Thursday. It showed well. We both talked about the price point at 1.1. Great. Called the agent 2 days later. Hey, any activity going on? Yeah, we had one offer full list, and you know what? We didn't even bother signing it back. You know it's a 1.2. Take care now. We're done. No, I don't know it's a 1.2. I don't know that. But I know it's a 1.1 price where it should be for that area. It's not a 1.2. It's just not.
Yeah.
So, like, is that false hopes for a seller, Dan? I think it's stupid. I think
No,
he
that's what I'm saying.
got
Like,
an offer 1.1. I'd work with it. I'd work with it and see. I would not be turning offers away and going, oh, you know what? It's this market's going to boom. It's spring. It's got a pool in the back. Who cares? Who cares?
well,
We
I've
There's
had
30 of
when
those
I was
properties right now in Barrie.
I've had where I was putting in offers for people, like negotiating, and they're like, "Oh, well, you know, the market's going to take off, and you know,
Yeah,
the spring market." And I'm like, and this is the agent telling me this.
of course. They don't know.
Well, and not only that, why are you trying to sell me
Yeah.
on stuff that is nobody has an idea what's going to happen? Okay?
We do because we know the numbers. The numbers don't lie. I can't tell you what happens going to happen next week, but I can tell you what happened in March and I can tell you what happened today and yesterday and the whole bit. I just can't see the future.
Yeah.
The numbers telling us a story right now.
Yeah, we're getting
And
lots and lots of
a story.
inventory.
We're getting lots of inventory and we're sucking in sales. It doesn't get any easier than saying it that way.
I know. And that's why when they're trying to convince me on how the market is, oh, it's going to take off and blah blah blah, and you gotta got you your client should jump on this right away.
Yeah.
I
So they're
so
going
what are
into
they
the
telling their client?
So they're telling us clients the same thing. Great time to list. You know what? I'm going to get your money you want. I guarantee it. It's going to sell off. It's going to sell. Trust me. Don't worry about a thing. I got this. And there's some people that go, well, sounds pretty confident. He or she, they know the market, think they do, and they're the professionals. I had a call about over a year ago now, yeah, a little over a year ago from one of the viewers on my channel, and he got that same spiel by an agent. He had a nice property. And we talked about it before on Taylor. Real nice there, 25 years, great. 1.2 and change. He got like 930. She went in there and said, here's it's listed first. And he's going, well, okay, let's try the 1.2. He went house shopping that week or 2 weeks later, bought something firm under the uh
Assumption.
assumption that, he's getting 1.2, he's retired, the whole bit, put some money in his pocket. He's gone, worst decision he ever made. Agent didn't know what's going on in the market. And I asked him, well, what were the comparables? I don't know. They just put them on the table and sheets of paper, what was listed. Were they the right comparables? What neighborhoods? Right square footage? He didn't know because I don't, he relied heavily on that. Scaries. This guy went through hell and back again. Imagine going 12 and coming out to 9. That's
Well, that's why people
on the
have to.
assumption that the agent knows best. Don't go under that assumption. If the
No,
agent can't show you what is selling in your neighborhood and has the inventory numbers based on your price points, holy cow. Like, come on.
and talk to three
Second opinion.
people, do your homework, talk to more than one person.
Free. Do it. And don't go with the one, well, you know what? Billy said we're going to get 1.4 for this. He's 200 grand higher than the other two. We need to go with Billy.
Yeah,
Oh, how did Billy do for you? Because that home isn't selling,
exactly.
right?
Okay, Mark, I think we did a great job today.
All right. Remember, folks, hit the subscribe button. We want more subscribers. Got information, reach out to us. Thanks. Have a great day.
See ya.